despite what their moms told them. They just aren't talented enough for radio. Unfortunately, anyone can have a show these days. Sean.
Well, I'm pretty hard to figure out sometimes. In fact, I can't even figure myself out sometimes, so don't you try to.
Joe.
You're an idiot and really a disloyal person.
This is the Cuse Militia. Those two unapologetically biased, orange-blooded homers, Sean and Joe.
It's the most bullshit thing I've seen in 30 years.
Welcome, orange men and ladies. Happy Sunday. This is the Cuse Militia with Sean and Joe at Cuse Militia on the socials. Go there, join the militia. Thanks for tuning in, hang out with us. We appreciate all of you. Syracuse will finish the regular season with a losing record for the first time in 53 years since the 68-69 season, where they finished 9-16 under Danforth. It's the first time, obviously, for Coach Boeheim in his 46-year tenure as head coach. You'll hear from us. We'll hear from you in fan feedback, and the Orange will take on Florida State in the ACC tournament. For their third matchup this year, Wednesday, March 9th, game is set for noon. We'll let you know what we think about that. The winner of that game will take on Duke the following day. So, just tons of good stuff. Hit after hit. Right, Joe?
Oh, yeah.
So much.
Fun stuff.
So much good stuff. Agonizing is a word I would use. Disappointed, that's another one. Pretty upset yesterday. I know all of you were. We'll get some of your thoughts. We're going to try to cruise through this montage as it's just a it wasn't a whole lot in it. Okay?
No, it's about 5 minutes, right?
It was about 5 minutes. Coach clearly did not want to be there, and I just got all the little tidbits I could, and there's one last coach montage moment for the regular season, which was, just one more last sting to the Syracuse media before the ACC tournament starts. So, with that said, let's hear what Coach had to say after the game.
Really disappointed for our seniors. They played a great game, and at the end of the day, we're bad against full court pressure. Joe's got to get the ball up. He dribbled it off his leg. Cole has it wide at half court, loses it. You can't do that. We played a great game. We wanted to keep more from shooting. We did. We wanted to make them go inside. We did. We didn't get much help inside from Frank, but I thought Barama was good. But we played as well as we can play, but we can't handle their pressure, and we should. Joe just gave it up twice, and Cole gave it up, and you can't do that in those situations. Yeah.
Jim, when you reflect on the season, what will you remember most?
I'm not going to remember anything right now.
Can you talk a little bit about...
No.
You know what I'm asking?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm not going to talk about anything except this game. If it's about this game, you can ask me.
Before the game, when you ended that
No,
one out.
I'm not going to talk about anything except this game.
What does it mean for you that Buddy captured the ACC scoring title?
I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned about winning games, so we didn't win. That's all.
Coach, with under 30 seconds left, we put in John Bull and took Frank out.
Help us against the pressure, and Frank wasn't able to get it, so I thought he'd help us against pressure. He's a pretty good rebounder. He didn't block out and gave up a basket, same as the Indiana game. Same thing.
You mentioned limiting more, and Miami's a team I think only hit three-pointers all game. What kind of went into that?
Well, we wanted to extend. We did a good job. Defensively, we did what we wanted to do there. The turnovers beat us. It wasn't they're going to score. Yeah, they're going to score, but the turnover. We had the game won, and we turned the ball over and gave them the game. Everything we did would have won the game. Everything, except the turnovers. And Jimmy missed some easy shots. Cole, they did a good job. Cole can't get his shot when they pressure him. He has to have room, and if teams pressure him, he can't score. He hasn't been able to score all year. And Jimmy got some really good opportunities, I thought, down low, but he didn't convert some of the easy ones he had. And but offensively, we scored enough. We stopped them enough. We lost the game because we couldn't get the ball up the court. It's embarrassing, and it shouldn't happen, but we are not good against pressure, basically. All right, thanks.
All right, the coach montage is brought to us first by Athletic Greens. Tons of people take a multivitamin. It's important to choose one that is top quality. With one delicious scoop of Athletic Greens, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, mineral, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to start your day right. This special blend of ingredients helps support gut health, the nervous system, immune system, energy, recovery, focus, and aging. It's lifestyle-friendly, adapted to a wide range of diets. It contains less than 1 gram of sugar, no GMOs, no chemicals or artificial anything. Plus, it costs less than $3 a day. It's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition, especially during cold and flu season. It's just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune supporting vitamin D and 5 free trial packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/sportsdrink. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/sportsdrink to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Also, Colorcast is a live audio-only sports talk platform, free to download and use. Talk to us, other fans, athletes, and insiders in real time. Perfect for watch parties, debates, post-game breakdowns, and reacting to breaking news. All you need to do is download the Colorcast app. It's free at iOS or Android stores. Create a profile, link it to your Twitter account, and join the league or group that suits you. Follow us at Cuse Militia to be notified when our room goes live again. I'll say it again. We'll be going live during the show on the Spotify Green Room app. Anything other than that on Colorcast would be not included in the podcast. So, all right. Thank you, Athletic Greens. Thank you, Colorcast. Okay, Joe, let's just start at the top of this thing. It's time of the regular season. Okay. Disappointed for the seniors, Coach says. Yes. Look, we talked about how much there was to play for in this game. They just couldn't handle the double teams at the end of the game. They got way more aggressive, that being Miami. I was hoping that we would get a whistle or something to send one of these guys to the line. Had a lot of trouble getting the ball up. Joe obviously had issues. Coach, you can tell they're very frustrated in the post-game press conference, and I don't blame him. I mean, I'd be frustrated too. You can put the blame on him. You can put the blame on the players. The truth is, it's probably a little bit of both. There was one point there where I guess shoulda, woulda, coulda called a timeout with Swider at half court once he finally got the ball over. We're missing 3 players. We're missing a starting center. We're missing a backup point guard. That would have been a tremendous help at some points during this game. They pressed almost the whole second half. Just wasn't as aggressive as we saw in the last couple minutes. So,
yeah.
They turned it up, but they were pressing the whole game, and Syracuse was doing a good job. It just wasn't an aggressive press. And,
No, but it
wears
like
on you.
Well, yeah, it wears on you, and I think that Miami they did a good job of controlling their aggressiveness and when they were going to turn it up and not. I mean, they played very physical, and I know that there's probably going to be some comments about the refs, and we'll get to that. But yeah, I mean, they talked about it even in the broadcast, and they were saying how this is going to end up wearing on them. Let's see how they are, because we knew that we only had 7 scholarship players, and I mean, pretty much it was John Bull and Frank on the bench. So we don't have any guards.
Yeah, because Barama started the game this week,
right?
Or this,
and they sat there and they brought in waves. They brought in waves of players to really put the pressure on our guys. And it eventually got to us. And near the end, when you're down 8 points and you need to start taking some chances and pressing to try to get the game, back, then that's how a team is going to play. And things just really went their way. I mean, we helped them too, but when you're talking about 2 jump balls, right? We had 2 jump balls, so we gave up the possession, and then there was another time where we got a jump ball.
Yeah, well,
and thank God we had the possession, but then Frank got it stolen from him. Then Joe dribbled it off of his chest, and then Cole got it stolen from behind. I mean, it was just an absolute, nightmare. And to be perfectly honest with you, I wasn't surprised.
Well, you told me. You told me at halftime you thought it was going to happen.
Did I not?
And you did. And I was just optimistic. And it's funny. We were up 18 in both of these losses. Miami has overcome some significant deficits this year, not only to Syracuse twice, but to multiple teams. And they're just doing what they've done all year. They didn't show us anything different. They are who they've been. I want to go through. I'm going to skip one thing in the montage real quick. I'm going to go out of order because we're kind of talking about it right now. That was the worst 1 minute of basketball that you could ever have, that I could ever remember. Okay, you're up by 7 right at the 1 minute mark. McGusty hits a jumper. Now you're up by 5, right? Syracuse timeout. Anselm turns the ball over. Charlie Moore with the steal. McGusty again, another jumper, gets it to within 3. Joe Girard off the knee or whatever the hell that was. He was trying to get he was flopping a little bit for a foul. That's what it looked like to me. Okay, that's just how it looked to me. And he lost control of the ball. Miami possession, 30 seconds left at this point, up by 3. Charlie Moore missed a 3-pointer. Miller with the offensive rebound, he lays it in. So terrible on the boards, even though Syracuse did come in the plus of that, but when it mattered, it didn't matter. 15 seconds left after that. Cole Swider finally gets the ball over. We talked about it. Shoulda, woulda, coulda called a timeout. Charlie Moore steals the ball. Again, this kid is all over the place, right? Buddy fouls. Now this is really where things get effed all the hell. And up by 1 at this point.
14 seconds.
14 seconds. 13 and some change.
Yeah.
Yeah. Charlie Moore missed the free throw. You got to get the rebound. It is totally unacceptable, the fact that John Bull does not box out here and get this rebound. Terrible. Offensive rebound by Miller. He lays it in. Up by 2. Joe Girard, missed jumper. This is the dribbling around thing that he does, and then he chucks up just an ugly ball, right?
No, it's what he did against North Carolina. Made it against North Carolina, but
Miller
still.
Yeah, Miller rebound. Jimmy fouls. Miller 2 made free throws. Down by 3. Got to try something. They're trying to get the ball to Buddy. Couldn't get it to him. Jimmy has a decent look in motion, though. Never gets to set his feet. Just a little short, and hits the side of the rim from in front of the Syracuse bench. And that's it. That's your last minute. Up by 7 right before the 1 minute mark.
And lose by 3.
A 10-0 run in like
on
a
your
minute.
Mom's birthday.
On your mom's birthday, on senior night. We just talked about like how much there was on the line.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, this is why people say what they say about Joe Girard, are these little things. Because when you look at it overall, the whole game, did he have some turnovers? Yeah. But up until that point, up until the last minute, I really wouldn't even have said that he was playing a bad game, you know?
He only had 2 turnovers for the game. I mean, when you look at it, at the end of the day. And
and both of them were dribbling out of bounds. But either way,
both of them were at the end of the game.
Dribbling. But either way, to me, that's like, why is that his shot? You know, I mean, you're down 1. Buddy's having the game that he's having. It's senior night. He shot the ball with 6 seconds still to go. So it's not like we didn't have time to make another play or pass it off, you know? So just him having the turnover and then turning around and then that whole thing happening and then him taking that shot, to me, it was just like, this is why they make that joke about Sienna Joe and how he should be playing in Sienna instead of Syracuse, right? So
yeah. I think we have some of that, yeah. Fan feedback.
So Right. So, and it's a situation where it's like those pivotal plays and those pivotal moments where he just is like, what are you doing? Because to me, it's like you got a bad turnover and then you got Buddy who's shooting and playing the way that he's playing. Like, to me, that's got to be Buddy's shot. I don't know. And again, that's what you don't want to see. That's what you don't want to see from Joe, especially after his turnover. So all that
you have a timeout there, but you can't use it, right? I mean, you can't. So
you could.
I guess there's 3 seconds left though. That's really tough. You could get it over half court and call the last time out, really, if you want.
Oh, like the last shot.
Yeah. I'm talking about the shot with Jimmy.
Yeah, that's tough. That one's tough. At that point, it was like, I thought it was. I mean,
you just had to do what you could do.
Right.
Look, if Buddy would have gotten one of those shots, either the Joe Girard one or the one with Jimmy. This is not a huge deal. Coaches ask, what are you going to take away from the season, or what are you most fond of, or what's the greatest memory, or something along those lines. He didn't, obviously didn't want to answer that. Not in the mood for it, and I don't blame him, but typical fashion for Coach. He didn't want to be there.
No,
look,
and like I said before, that is going to be like the end of that game, and Joe dribbling it off his leg or his body or whatever out of bounds for the turnover, and him just going down and taking that shot, trying to play hero ball. Like, that's just how I'm going to think about this season.
Yes, I agree. No, this season is look, I told you yesterday. Here's one of the, you're right. Here's one of the year of this, shit just doesn't work out like it does in the movies, man. And this is just a finger and eye to that. And this is maybe one disadvantage of coming to our podcast is that, especially me, I have an emotional, connection with the team, and I get pissed, and so I don't come here always as objective. But I got to be honest, like, for the year, when you talk about the year, like how bad this is, like yesterday, I just wanted it over. Like, I think about an ACC game on Wednesday. And I'm just like, if we win, we got to play Duke again. Like, really? Like this is how this is going to go. Like, we got to play Duke again for a third time.
Yeah.
And they're coming off of a loss, a tragic, hilarious loss last night against UNC. And with the big,
exactly what I didn't want.
Exactly. And it's like,
it doesn't matter. We don't match up well against them anyway. But
right, it doesn't matter, but it doesn't help.
No, I was hoping that they were going to go off on a good note. Everyone was going to be happy that they're going to carry Coach K off the court.
No, I wasn't hoping for that.
And then
either.
and then look, and then about days to sit here, maybe get a little overconfident, maybe a little rusty, and then who knows, maybe something happens. But now they're just going to be pissed off. They beat us by 25, just whatever. Like, it's one of those things. Like, I'm the same as you. Like, I'm emotionally attached as well, but like, something about this, I mean, I'm also, like you said, somebody that can look at it and be like what I said yesterday at halftime. Like, I just feel like they're going to end up blowing it based upon what they've done the whole year. So I sat there yesterday unfazed. I mean, I was happy when they were hitting shots, and I was hoping that they were going to get the W, and I'm like, okay, we're in good position, but I never once felt confident. And I sat there unfazed as there was turnover after turnover, only because it was unexpected. And now, like you said, or not that it was expected. It
was expected, yeah.
Yes, and now we're sitting here, like you said, to the point where, like, right now at this point, you're supposed to be like excited about this. And you know what I mean?
It's the postseason. Let's go.
I still watched a little bit of college basketball yesterday after the game. I saw Murray State. They won their tournament. Ohio Valley Conference punched their ticket. I'm seeing these tournaments start to ramp up. This is when you're supposed to get excited about it. I mean, I'm still excited about the tournament because I'll still watch it regardless. But usually this is when you're excited, like, okay, now it's time to go into the ACC tournament.
Oh, it's March.
Usually we're in
March.
a position where we're like, okay, let's get a win or two, and we'll definitely be in the tournament, and let's see if we can get a little momentum. But now it's like we legit have to
win out.
Like, I don't even know. Yeah, I don't remember the last time we've been in a situation where we had to win the tournament to make the tournament, other than maybe Jerry McNamara's senior year when they actually went and did.
Right. Well, highly unlikely. Like I said, I don't want to lose against Florida State, but I don't want to play Duke. The way this season is gone, and we're still on the point I was trying to make and bring up, is that the only bright spot is what Buddy did yesterday. And if he would have got one more point, he'd have gotten even 600 points in ACC, for the season, excuse me. But he does capture the ACC scoring title, which is hats off to him and everybody who poo-pooed him. I mean, do you remember all of the Buddy's not good enough to play D1 stuff? I mean, it wasn't that long ago. I'm old enough to remember that. You know what I mean?
No, yeah. Well, yeah, and that's always going to be there, you know. Yeah. And I mean, there were some individuals. I think that Jesse was a positive, even though he got hurt. I mean, there's always going to be what could have happened, but we've had that before. We've had the Arinze Onuaku injury at the end of the year, or the Fab Melo injury, or can't play at the end of the year. Like, what could have been with some of those teams? Because right now, obviously, we don't have all the bullets in the chamber, so to speak, right? So we're just going to have to see what happens. My thing is that what do you do on Wednesday? Game's at noon.
Well, you got to freaking watch it from your phone at work somehow.
Yeah, well, there's been times where it's been like, yeah, I'm going to take a half day, or hey, I'm going to work from home, or hey, I'm going to take a day off just to, and it's like, is that even worth it?
First of all, I can't get days that quick, but no, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
And I hate to be like this, and this is what my other point was, is maybe that's why this show is, one of the negatives of this show is that after a year like this, I am just like so fed up, and I've said it off the air to Joe, and I'm just like, man, this is just... The agony is just stringing out, and it's like so terrible.
Right. And also what people don't understand as well, you know, the people listening that I have to deal with, is that if basketball doesn't end on a high note, then it's very, very hard to get Sean excited for football. Now, I know he said that he can't wait for football, but there's a huge, off season, right?
Yeah.
And, I mean, we have a situation where we're going to have 7 p.m. on April 1st, spring game that's going to be televised on ACC Network. Practice starts next week. I mean, there's going to be some news and some stuff coming out about football, and Sean's not going to want anything to do with it.
I just, he's
pretty much, he wants this to be over.
I don't even know if I'm going
to be able to get him an NCAA tournament podcast. I don't even know. I think Sean's going to go on a 2-month hiatus.
You know that GIF with the dude in the shower and he's crying? You know that GIF?
No. That's just your dream.
That's what I feel. That's what I feel like right now. I think I said something to Joe yesterday, and I say things when I'm angry, that I don't mean, just like everybody else in fan feedback. That's why I give a little bit of a leash with fan feedback. But I was like, I just want the season to be over. I want basketball to be done. I don't want to watch another dribble. I'm done. I'm done. I don't want to watch another dribble off your knee. I don't want, I'm just, I'm just totally frustrated. But Buddy's got this scoring title. You're right. There's some good things. I mean, Benny, by the way, there was big controversy about Benny not being on the bench. I mean, he's got a lower body injury, right? Isn't that what it is? So we don't know what it is, right? Maybe he can't get around real well or something.
Right.
Maybe he's in a cast or a boot, or maybe not a cast, but like a boot or whatever. I mean, I'm so stupid. I mean, people make mountains out of molehills
and on
so
top
easily.
of that too,
he's transferring. That's it. He's done. He's gone. He's transferring.
Yeah. If he does have something like that, then obviously you wouldn't want that to be out there, right? I mean, Samir, obviously he wasn't at the last game because he didn't travel in North Carolina, but he was on the bench this game, right? We already knew Jesse had a broken wrist, so it's okay for him to sit on the bench with a cast on.
Yeah. Well, you can't sit on the bench with a boot.
We know what happened to Samir Torrance, right? So we knew why the bandage was on his forehead,
right?
Right? We know what's going on there. Right now, it's just lower body injury. Maybe they just didn't want to put him out there so that people couldn't speculate what type of injury it was. But from all accounts, what I heard, it was an injury that I think they said 4 to 6 weeks, and it would be short term. In a normal season, he'd probably be back at some point. But because it's 4 to 6 weeks, even if we had a postseason tournament, he wouldn't be back in time. So it's good that it's not
surgery needed.
Doesn't seem to be something that's going to prohibit him from being able to, get better in the offseason, because that's the last thing we needed. I mean, I was speculating you tear an ACL there goes your summer, there goes any progress. You're probably not even going to be ready for the season, but by the time it starts anyway. So
next year, right.
Glad that I heard that was good news that we heard a couple days ago. So, but at the end of the day, we talked about this coming into it, man. I mean, we knew that didn't have an athletic team. We knew that we were not great with the ball, not great with 50-50, and that sometimes, like you said, there's the lack of hustle, because I think some people get in their, Joe Girard gets in his head, and all of a sudden, he's not reacting because he missed a shot, and then they came down and made a shot, and now he's not even attempting or thinking about trying to get open to break the press, right? So he allows the team, the defense to set up, and I mean, there's a lot of things that you just always got to be locked into the game, and I feel like we just had so many spells where people would get in their own way mentally, and then obviously with all the limitations, we knew we weren't going to be able to. We had problems last year breaking the press.
Yeah,
we had Dolzai bring the ball up.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was definitely a problem last year too. Same thing. It's worse this year, obviously. I think Samir would have helped.
And coming from a fan's perspective, some fans are like, okay, so we've had to have our power forward bring the ball up successfully against tough teams, like 2 out of the 3 last years. We need to fix that, right?
Yeah, right. Speaking of turnovers, I mean, you heard Coach. They're pretty much the dagger. I ran you through the last minute of play. It was 3 turnovers in that whole sequence there. Cole went from 36 points against UNC to 6 points, and just was taken out of the game essentially. And it's been another problem this year, getting the consistency out of everybody except for Buddy. Buddy's had a couple bad games. Yeah, I know, I get it. But let's be honest. Dude's averaging over 19 points a game. He's been killing it. He's the most consistent scorer this team's had all year. And he couldn't be joined by anybody, really. And it's just, as many points as we scored, there was always someone to step up, which is fantastic. The problem is which is, obvious. Is, Buddy's getting a lot of attention. Cole's, he's had trouble here and there, but he came a long way. I'm happy about that. There was some rumors, not rumors, but I guess rumors, essentially. He's undecided. He's undecided, I guess, kind of still. So, we'll see what happens there with Cole, but I wouldn't expect him to come back. But it was a Syracuse.com headline. I don't read Syracuse.com because they want to charge me money, but the headline's there. So anyway, or it was Donna DeTota tweet, actually. But I'm sure they wrote something on it. So Coach said it was embarrassing. It shouldn't happen. They're awful against pressure. And yes, it was embarrassing. It was terrible. And it was very disappointing. And I mean, that's all you can really say about it. The one game you really wanted to win, right? And to avoid the losing season thing, right? No one, I mean, that's like 53 years. 53 years ago was the last losing season for Syracuse. So it hurts. It sucks. I understand everybody's anger. I really do. So anyways, all right. It is time to hear from you.
It's time to hear from you, the loudmouths from the Loud House.
All right, we're going to do a little fan feedback for the last time of the regular season. Look, where is it? Forgive me, I'm so unorganized. Before we get into that, let's hear from the folks over at Athletic Greens. Tons of people take a multivitamin. It's important to choose one that is top quality. With one delicious scoop of Athletic Greens, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help start your day right. This special blend of ingredients helps support gut health, the nervous system, immune system, energy, recovery, focus, and aging. It's lifestyle-friendly, adapting to a wide range of diets. It contains less than 1 gram gram of sugar, no GMOs, no chemicals or artificial anything. Plus, it costs less than $3 a day. It's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition, especially during cold and flu season. It's just one scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune support and vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/sportsdrink. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/sportsdrink to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutrition. Colorcast is a live audio-only sports talk platform, free to download and use. Talk to us, other fans, athletes, and insiders in real time. Perfect for watch parties, debates, post-game breakdowns, and reacting to breaking news. All you need to do is go to the Colorcast app in your iOS or Android store, download that thing, create a profile, link up your Twitter, and join whatever league or group that interests you. Follow us at Cuse Militia to be notified when our room goes live. I wanted to do something in the postseason, but I will be working. So we'll have to see what happens with the remainder of the postseason. Shall there be one? Thank you, Athletic Greens. Thank you, Colorcast. All right. Let's see what we've got here. Let's start with Facebook, and some of these are just going to get rolled through. Let's see. All right. Nadal top fan, Nadal on Facebook. He says that was a classic Syracuse game in every respect for the year. No one should have expected anything different. So, look, I guess I was just overly optimistic, and it's tough not to be, but especially in the second half, Joe, and they go up by, I think 18 was when they did that, and they came out on fire, and then just you could watch it slowly collapse. It didn't happen fast, but it got to within 6 pretty quick. You know, they went on a run there before they went on the 10-0 run at the end of the game, and just to his point, kind of capped off the year. Like, that's it. In a nutshell, that last minute, not being able to close out games was the season in a nutshell. So, Peter on Facebook. Sad to watch, can't even comprehend Syracuse, not even one of the top 70 teams in the country. This team is so undisciplined. 30-foot jumpers are a norm. It's time to find a new coach and try to rebuild this sad program. When I hear fans talk about that, and I get it, and I understand the frustration, and I think we all kind of feel it after this year, but how quickly we forget the run that Syracuse went on last year, making this Sweet 16, right? So the year before that, season was canceled. Postseason was canceled. Year before that, 18-19, they were out in the first round. But the year before that, 17-18, was another Sweet 16 run.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can go back through 2 Final Fours since 2012-13. It's a one bad year. It was the worst year in the ACC, by the way. And
well, yeah, obviously.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it's the worst year in 50 years.
53. So, anyways, Sean on Facebook, Gerard belongs at Lemoyne like his father, and Coach B needs to go away with his sons. Disgusting. So this is just, I mean, I don't have much commentary on that, but
that's an emotional comment.
Yes, it is.
Obviously. So, you know what the deal is with Coach, right? Go.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I know people want him gone, and I mean,
they have a plan in place. Doesn't sound like he's going to be there forever.
Plan in place. At Mahirio_10, Sean, I know you defend Boeheim. You have a right to, but that was poor coaching. I hate the ISO offense. Inexcusable to lose a 7-point lead in a minute. Don't care about the refs. Cuse did not execute or play well. Just disgusting. Worst collapse in recent memory. Well, let's work this backwards. Worst collapse I've seen in 1 minute to end any basketball game having to do with Syracuse that I can remember. I mean,
no.
There's one that you can think of that was worse. So let me know.
We've seen a couple.
I mean, we've seen a couple, but that was pretty bad.
Oh, yeah, real bad.
10-0 run in, a little over a minute. The refs sucked, but you're right. I don't care about the refs either. At this point, it's just par for the course. We know what we're getting going into every game with the refs.
Yeah.
I feel like I think it's a surprise there anymore.
No, there's a couple. I mean, you see at the end of the game, Charlie Moore had all those steals and stuff like that. And
that's what I was saying. I was waiting for a whistle, something.
Well, he probably should have already been fouled out. All the crap that he was doing to Joe and everything like that.
Yeah, I mean,
all the
Joe
hand checking that was going on.
Hit above the neck a couple times too.
Yeah.
Well, there was one hand check when Buddy was just trying to get around a pick, trying to scoot around the front of the pick, and he barely hit the back of his hand, I think, on I don't remember who it was, but was called for the foul. It was like totally ridiculous. And but anyways, with the refs, we know what we're getting. Inexcusable loses a 7-point lead in under a minute or in a minute. Yes, we know. Poor coaching. The one coaching thing, I guess, is the questionable thing that I could be a little bit, critical of was the not calling. Maybe coach should have jumped in. Probably should have jumped in when Cole had the ball just over half court and should have called the timeout there. Obviously, Cole was struggling. No one was really. The other thing is it's just like you watch everybody else on offense just watching Cole. It's not like a ton of movement to get him help or anything. It's just
don't the players have to call it though?
Oh, that's right. The coach can't call a timeout anymore.
I think
in under 2 minutes, right?
No, I don't think they can live ball.
Oh, you're right.
Live ball's got to be the player, I believe.
You're right, but that's a new rule though, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Well, I thought it was a new rule. I thought that was a new rule or somewhat recent, but you're right. So he couldn't even do that. I don't know. Then. I mean, it was the turnovers. That's on the players. And that's not defending Boeheim, but that's just fact. I mean, if you want to say, well, the players should know better and you can go resort back to bad coaching on that, I guess that's one thing, but those turnovers and all that stuff, that was on the players. The bad shot Joe took, the dribbling around crap, that was on Joe.
The not blocking out.
The not blocking out was, okay, well, maybe John Bull shouldn't be in there, right?
And that was the one thing, right? That's why they got brought up in the presser, because why was John Bull in? Well, John Bull was in because Frank Anselm had a turnover and he had 2 times that he was tied up for possession. So at the end of the day, he's not a guy out there that we need to break the press. So, you kind of go a 1-for-1, but then John Bull got stuck in there and then Frank couldn't be into the rebounding position, because you could argue that if Frank's in that position, then maybe that guy doesn't get that rebound because John Bull didn't do a great job there at all.
Right.
But again, he was doing it to break the press, and then he got caught out there, and you can't sub before the first free throw.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, the whole thing. So
yeah.
Brutal end for seniors, but this whole season has been horrid. Can't keep a lead, can't close out games, can't play 2 complete halves at SU Hoops 424. Yeah, brutal for the seniors. I mean, we all know, obviously, what we're losing there, and you didn't come out and play, and that's unfortunate. Well, they did come out and play. It's not totally fair to say, but that is unfortunate. To end this like this, I felt like when you have all these circumstantial things that, to some degree, should be a recipe for winning at all costs, something. So,
well, the problem is that you have a situation like this where you just got a tough team like Miami, who's going to wear down a team that isn't good at handling the press and physical type of play, and not great with holding on to the ball and stuff like that, and you're just going to eventually wear them down. So you don't even have to. You just got to stay within striking distance and just wait until the other team just gets tired. And I think that was a situation yesterday. It was exactly what it was. Not even that those guys didn't come and play, but you have Buddy, who he led the ACC in points per game in points, right? But he also led in minutes. He averaged over 38 minutes a game. And the last 2 games, we've only had 7 scholarship players. When you play a game like that, you're going to be tired near the end. And this isn't me making excuses for people making mistakes, but it's those kind of things. Like Miami, they could sub their guys in and bring in different waves of defenders to tire us out. And then at the end of the game, their main defenders and their starters had enough gas to go out there and do what they did that last minute.
Right. Well, let's do one more. At JJ Valerio SC, no coincidence that he has his first losing season at Syracuse with his two sons starting. I'm predicting a mass exodus in the transfer portal. I would, if this is a buy, sell, or hold, man, I'm selling big time on that. I don't feel like there's going to be a huge exodus in the transfer portal. I just don't. I don't.
If anybody, we're losing so many people, and we know like Samir, Benny, Jesse, and probably Frank. I mean, Frank might be, but it really depends. He's still young, so he'll have his time to be the starter here once Jesse leaves. The only one I can see that makes sense to me is John Bolshak.
Yeah,
other than that,
maybe.
You're going to be bringing in 5 to 7 players.
Yeah.
For the first year anyway. So.
One more. I lied. One more. At Gerard's haircut, Joe Girard ruins my life, and that's that's the winner there.
There was some good fan feedback. There was a lot of like back and forth.
There was
conversation. There was video.
Yes, that was Nadal. Obviously, I can't do it justice. But if you go to Facebook and look at Nadal's comment, there's a video of a guy saying Syracuse ruined 41 years of his life, and then he gets slapped. I'm assuming it's his pops in front of him. Gets kind of slapped a little bit and tells him to calm down. Which is funny. So yeah, there's some good back and forth on the threads. Just go there and check it out. So anyways, as always, guys, I appreciate you coming to the socials and
yes,
giving us the feedback. And we're
here for you.
Yes, and I noticed that some of we've been through the fan feedback. I'm just going to tell you right now because Joe doesn't even know. Some of it didn't get recorded. So, Joe, yeah, look. I thought I was having technical difficulties, but all I really had was I turned down the volume on the wrong channel, and it muted Joe. And so I had been clicking on a bunch of stuff, and I stopped the recording. The whole middle of fan feedback is only just a conversation between me and you, Joe. And I'm very sorry about that. Okay?
Yeah.
It's just so fitting. But anyways, I really do appreciate all you guys. If fan feedback seems short, that's why. So, but I do appreciate you guys. Really do. Joe and I both do. We both go through and read a lot of that stuff. The back and forth is great. Some of it's ridiculous, but a lot of it's great, and we really appreciate it. So, all right. With that said, we got at least one more episode for fan feedback. So bring something original. And we will discuss it here. All right, Joe, the all-time series between Syracuse and Florida State sits at 8-6 in favor of the Orange. Games this year, each team won on the road. The first game in December was 63-60 win for Syracuse. Swider and Girard, 16 points. Edwards, 12 rebounds. Swider with 10 rebounds. And then the most recent game here in January, in the middle of January, at the Dome, 76-71 loss for Syracuse. Buddy with 18 points. Ken Palm actually has, in his analytics, has Florida State ranked 102nd. With an adjusted offense at 122nd and an adjusted defense at 95. So Florida State is currently on a 3-game win streak right now over Virginia, Notre Dame, and NC State, but they've only won 4 of their last 12. There's a 6-game skid in there against Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech, Clemson, Wake Forest, Pitt, and North Carolina. So, Joe, we've seen this team twice. This is kind of the rubber match, ACC tournament game. So 2 close games. This time it's on a neutral court. I don't know who that helps since they both won on the road. If it helps anybody, it helps Syracuse, I suppose, being in Brooklyn, right? But how do you see it?
So this is a situation. You remember earlier in the season when I said that the first time we played them, it was a good team to play early because they were trying to figure stuff out, right?
Yes,
They had
right.
a bunch of younger guys and
Yes.
some transfers and stuff, and we ended up winning. Well, after that, they seem to have kind of gotten their stuff together, and they actually, after losing a game against Wake Forest early, to give them, I think they were 7-5 or something. They went on a run where they beat Louisville, Miami twice, Syracuse, and this is obviously when they came to the Dome and beat us, and then Duke and Duke, and then there was a game in there, North Florida. So they went on a 6-game winning streak and put them to 13-5, and that looked like Florida State was, it was going to look like possibly they could be a quad 1 win for us. But then they had Anthony Polite and Caleb Mills, two of the better players, better scorers, reasons why they beat us the second time. They got hurt. So then Florida State, they, missing some of their two better players, that is when they went on that skid and started losing against some of those teams that they should have been able to beat if they were healthy. So they've had a situation where a lot of younger players have had to step up and learn how to play, grow, and they ended up beating Clemson, got beat up by Duke a little bit, got beat up by Boston College, but they just got Polite back, and then Caleb Mills just came back in this NC State game. And as you can see, they're on a 3-game winning streak, one at Virginia and beating Notre Dame. Those aren't easy. And then they took care of NC State rather easily. So now you have a situation where, they were 13-5, and now they're 17-13. And they're in a situation, obviously, similar to us because they're probably going to have to go and win the tournament. But this team is getting better and getting all their guys in healthier at the right time, which is exactly the opposite for us. And I don't like it. I don't like it not one bit. I don't think it looks good. I think that you're going to get your wish at noon on Wednesday.
Well, hold on. It's not really a wish. I just, in all fairness, I don't want to win against Florida State and then go get waxed by Duke again.
And that's what would happen.
I know. I really don't want that.
Right.
But I want to win. So it's like...
And when I look at Florida State and the way they've been playing, and now they're getting healthy and getting their guys back, and then obviously their bench, they had to grow up. So now guys that have been playing this whole time that maybe weren't playing as much before because they had their main rotation, now those guys are more ready to play. So this is a deeper team. And to be perfectly honest with you, this could be a team that actually does go on a run in the
it's
ACC
possible.
tournament.
Yeah.
They definitely have a better chance of beating Duke than we do. They've already done it this year.
Right.
So that's that. Not to say that they're definitely going to beat us because, I think we've been in games with everybody not named Duke in this conference all year. But I think that Florida State, their main guys are older guys. They were their scorers. Caleb Mills scored a bunch against us second time we played. And those are their guys. And they're back. And, I think that those guys don't get injured, then this is easily – probably getting a double bye in the ACC tournament. They shouldn't have lost to Georgia Tech and Clemson and Wake Forest. Or they lost to Wake Forest twice, but Pittsburgh, Wake Forest, a pretty good team. Boston College. They would have had 4 other wins probably if they didn't have these injuries. And you're looking at a tournament team. So they're way better than what their record is, and it kind of sucks that they're in the position they're in now because they shouldn't be in a position to where they have to play Duke. But I think they're a team that can beat them, and who knows, they might go on a run. You beat Duke, you could go and you could win the tournament.
Yeah, it's possible. Obviously, that's the juggernaut, right? So, all right. And I just thought of something. We're recording on Skype because I always record on Skype so we could pull clips if we want to, and I'm just gonna have to record the show through that. So it just might be up a little bit later than I'd like it to, but I do have it all, Joe. Just so you know.
Okay.
Backup plan.
Look at you.
See? Didn't even know I had one.
So are we picking scores?
I suppose, Joe, I suppose. Huh?
Did you win?
No. You won the year, Joe. I know I did this prematurely last episode, but you take the crown this season for basketball, and I'll hit them all.
For you.
I'll hit them all. And so you'll take the crown this year for basketball. I took football, so it's only fair we split the sports this season. That's fine. I'm okay with that. It was close, though. It was close. So it ended up being... What did it end up being? 9-7-1. You won. So you beat me by 2 there. I needed this one to tie. And then we went to the Florida State game and seen what happened there. And we'd keep going, I guess, until we got an oddball, hopefully.
I didn't have a speech prepared, but
thank God. Could you imagine if he actually prepared something? It'd probably be an hour long.
Oh, come on. I'm not Dominic. Look, even though I won, just kind of like Buddy winning the scoring title, winning's more important, as far as the team. And even though I won, I felt like I've lost because we're not in postseason. So
yeah, well,
kind of caught me off guard there. So, and
you got the sniffles. You got allergies. What the hell's going on with you?
Yeah, it's like really hot down here. It's starting.
Yeah, well, it's the premature spring. Everybody's getting it right now. It's like 80 degrees here in Virginia Beach. Okay, so I went first last against Florida State for the Miami game. So it is your turn to go first. Joe, what do you got?
I'm going to go Florida State. Florida State 77, Syracuse 70.
Okay. I'm telling you. I might speak this into existence. We'll see what happens. I'm going to say Syracuse 72. No, I scratched that. I did not do this beforehand, as you can tell. Let's go Syracuse 75, Florida State 72. So I'm going to take...
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I've already lost, so...
I mean, yeah, what do you got to lose, right?
Yeah, what do I got to lose? I'm just trying something different here. So I'm going to take Cuse in winning in dramatic fashion in a game that probably is not going to mean diddly squat, which is so Syracuse at this point in the season, because then they're just going to get waxed by Duke. So that's typical, and that's how I feel the season. We don't deserve it, but it's what we might get. It's just how I feel. If things could be any worse, they couldn't.
No. And honestly, I mean, I hope that we can get Cy back for this one. At least get us some type of
that would be awesome.
For the guard position, that would be really, that might help out. But I mean, it's seriously a situation where, I mean, even if a miracle were to happen to where we win the first 2 games, like if Cy isn't healthy and we don't have a crazy amount of luck on our side, like there's no way that we're going to win 4 games in 4 days with 7 scholarship players available.
Yeah.
Even if it would be a position to be so Syracuse to go beat Duke and then still lose.
That's true.
And then not win the tournament and go to the NIT.
At that point you could. At that point you could go to the NIT, I think. I'm not sure.
That would save our 500 season. But that's Syracuse in the past. It's not this Syracuse team. I just make too many mistakes.
Yeah, it's like cursed, like, I don't know, like someone played with a freaking Ouija board or something. It's just that bad. Who did it?
There's somebody out there holding like an Otto the Orange like doll.
Yeah, like a voodoo doll. I mean, what's going on?
It controls the basketball game.
Someone's playing a Ouija board. Someone's got some voodoo going on. I don't know. It's probably one of you on Twitter.
Stab Otto in the hand, and Joe Girard dribbles out of bounds.
dribbles off his knee, trying to fake for a foul, trying to flop. Yeah, that's typical. And look, at the end of the day, we're still orange-blooded homers.
Oh, yeah.
And, despite everything, still love coming on here and talking about it, good, bad, or ugly. And we appreciate all of you that hung with us this year. Look, we will be back, win or lose, on Thursday. So we'll see you then. For Joe, I'm Sean. We're out.
Peace.